Top five. Top five. Top five.
What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5 on this beautiful Top 5 Friday, and I couldn't be more excited than to be talking to you about my personal Top 5 favorite vocalists of all time. And man, this was a hard one to whittle down, and I'm not even gonna go into my honorable mentions because the list would be way too long. So let's get right to it. At my number 5, Ray LaMontagne. You guys, if you've been watching my channel long enough, you know I love Sweet Ray and I love his voice. I mean, this guy could sing the phone book and I would love it. And you know, I really struggled putting him on this list because he is in the new millennium. I mean, he just came on the scene in 2004, but you know, that's been almost 15 years now, and I've been following him ever since Trouble. And you know, whether he's doing a ballad or he's doing some rock blues type thing, which I hope he does a blues album one of these days, full-fledged, like, you know, songs like 3 More Days and No Answer Arrives and She's the One. He can really just go into that rocker mode. And, you know, he's kind of like a culmination of some of the best raspy singers like Joe Cocker and Rod Stewart, and then just putting him through like a percolator, making this warm sound of raspiness, if that makes any sense. And just love him. So I had to have him at my number 5. So now at my number 4, you can feel it all over. You can feel it all over. Stevie Wonder. Oh man, this guy is his voice is just pure joy personified in all his songs. And you know, a lot of his songs are upbeat, like Signed, Sealed, Delivered and Sir Duke. The list goes on and on. But you know, even on his most somber of songs, it's just like having this blanket around you and knowing that everything's going to be okay. You know, on songs like Overjoyed, that ending note, it's like, oh man, I can't imagine a world without Stevie Wonder in it, and you shouldn't either. I mean, just one of the greatest artists of all time, period, and definitely one of the best voices that many other people have tried to replicate over the years, and they just can't do it. So that's at my number 4. Now at number 3... Freddie Mercury, the lead vocalist of Queen. You know, I'm not the biggest Queen fan, but you know, you got to respect them as a band. I mean, Brian May and the rest of the gang, they do what they do best, but Freddie is absolutely the star player of that band. I mean, come on, in a room with David Bowie and another singer, the other singer is the better guy on songs like Under Pressure. I mean, just incredible. And some of the things that he would just instinctively do on songs like that or Bohemian Rhapsody, just things that people wouldn't even think of to do vocally. He goes there and he does so amazingly. And songs like The Show Must Go On, incredible when you know that the fact that he's dying of AIDS and he's singing with all his heart and his gut, The Show Must Go On, and hitting those high notes, just incredible, and just one of the best rock vocals of all time. So that's at my number 3. Now at number 2... What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul herself, rest in peace. Oh my gosh, I mean, just classic after classic. Respect. Think, Chain of Fools, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. And if you haven't seen, in her 70s, she's performing that song at the Kennedy Center. Just YouTube that right now, and making Carole King and Barack Obama cry with her performance. It is just actually one of the most amazing live performances of a song that I've ever witnessed. And that's Aretha Franklin towards the end of her life. And, you know, just throughout her illustrious career, she is just the one. I don't think there's a female vocalist that ever comes close. I mean, there's some greats out there like Tina Turner, Whitney Houston, and so forth, but the Queen of Soul set the blueprint for what it is to be just the greatest. So that is my number 2, and now at number 1.
Been dazed and confused for so long, it's not true. Wanted a woman, never bargained for you.
Robert Plant. Yes, I mean, the lead singer of Led Zeppelin, one of my favorite bands of all time. This guy, he just has something magical about him. And I know a lot of people aren't crazy about his voice. I know it's a higher register, a different tone than some people are accustomed to, but the things that he can do, no one else can do. I mean, maybe Chris Cornell, who I almost put on my list as well, can get the range and the intensity, but there's just something different about Robert Plant, kind of in the vein of what I said about Freddie Mercury earlier, making choices that no one else would do. Like the riffs that he does with his vocals on Whole Lotta Love, for example, his voice is another instrument in the song that's just taking it to new heights and making the other guys in the band come up to his level. And that's really saying something, with Jimmy Page, one of the best guitarists of all time, John Bonham, the best drummer of all time. I mean, just incredible. And, you know, Robert Plant doesn't get enough tribute for being an amazing songwriter as well, on songs like Stairway to Heaven and, you know, his voice on ballads like that and Going to California. He wasn't always doing the intense thing, and later in his life, he toned it down and you know, continues to do his own thing. But even when he reunited with Jimmy Page in the 90s, he was still just pushing it, man. Like on that version of Kashmir that they did with the band from the Middle East, just incredible. And there's just something about that guy that he's just mesmerizing to watch and to listen to. You know, I can't even put it in words. So that is why he's my number 1. There is no other Robert Plant, and there never will be. And that is my top 5, guys. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Who did I miss? I mean, there's a ton of people, as I said earlier, that I would have put on this list if I had a top 20. You know, some that come to mind: Van Morrison, Jim Morrison, Eric Burden. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's just so many great vocalists out there, but that's my top 5, and I am sticking to it. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, all that jazz, and as always,
Viva la vinyl. So please click like and subscribe by clicking the Johnny Radio icon to the right. There's also some other content for your viewing pleasure. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.